pre-calculus students. Today we learned about finding complex roots of polynomials, and then also once we find those roots, writing it out in its factored form. So this is problem 12 from the 2.4 worksheet. And so here we go. This one gives us the polynomial x to the fourth plus 4x to the third minus 2x squared minus 4x plus 16, and tells us that 1 plus I is one of the complex zeros of this polynomial. So then, knowing that, we also know that 1 minus I will also be a zero of this polynomial. So now what we want to do is divide this polynomial by both of these things to get a depressed polynomial, because it'll be sad now that it doesn't have one of its roots. Just kidding. And then hopefully we'll have at the end a quadratic that we can factor nicely. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to use synthetic division since it's a little bit cleaner looking for this purpose. So we'll have 1 plus I in the corner. That's our first zero. And then we have 1, 4, negative 2, negative 4, and 16 as our coefficients. So then we bring down the 1. 1 times 1 plus I is 1 plus I. Combining these, we get 5 plus I. And then we have to do a little bit of behind the scenes multiplying here before we can get what goes up here. So we've got 1 plus I times 5 plus I. So that gives us, let's see, 5 minus 6I, or sorry, plus 6I, plus I squared. Okay, so that gives us, if I simplify this, I squared is negative 1, 5 minus 1 is 4, so that's 4 plus 6I, which goes here. Combining these, we get 2 plus 6I. And then doing some more multiplication over here, we've got 1 plus I times 2 plus 6I. Hopefully we've all gotten the pattern of how it works multiplying by now. That gives us negative 4 plus 8I. So then when we add straight down here, we get negative 8 plus 8I. So then we're going to multiply one more time, 1 plus I times negative 8 plus 8I. So multiplying that out, negative 8. So this one's going to work out a little bit nicer. Minus 8I plus 8I plus 8I squared. So we have negative, so these cancel. We have negative 8, and then this ends up being a negative 8 because I squared is negative 8, or sorry, negative 1, and negative 1 times 8 is negative 8. So we get negative 16 here, which is exactly what we hoped we'd get, because then that makes 0 when we add straight down. And then we're all done with that part. So then we're going to take these as our coefficients next and divide it by the 1 minus I. So we've got 1 minus I in the corner now, and our coefficients are now 1, 5 plus I, 2 plus 6I, and negative 8 plus 8I. And this is going to go a little bit faster and nicer, as you'll see in a moment. So we'll bring down the 1. 1 times 1 minus I is 1 minus I. The nice thing that happens here is that the i's go away and we just get 6. And then 6 times 1 minus I is 6 minus 6I. The i's cancel, we get 8. Multiplying, we get 8 minus 8I, and everything cancels this time and we get 0. So our quadratic that we get out of this is x squared plus 6x plus 8. And this does factor nicely into x plus 4 times x plus 2. Okay, so then our completely factored format would be x plus 4 times x plus 2 times x minus 1 plus I times x minus 1 minus I. And our zeros are 1 plus I, 1 minus I, -4, and -2. Okay, so that's how we would do number 12. Hopefully this was helpful. If you have any questions,